What do you like more about NCIS? The fact that it's a safe, dependable show that never seems to end, or the fact that it's readily available to stream on your trusty old Netflix? If your answer is the latter option, we have some heartbreaking news for you today. Strap in. Today we're going to tell you all about how NCIS is expected to leave Netflix by 2024. First, let's just cut to the chase and talk about what's going on. You might need to go on a Twitter rampage, scroll through some solid Jibs edits on TikTok, let the tears roll, or even scream into a pillow if you need to get the feelings out. But it is what it is. NCIS isn't going to be on Netflix forever, and that's the bitter truth. NCIS has been an integral part of the Netflix experience for quite some time, but its time there is unfortunately coming to an end. For nearly 2 decades, fans of this CBS classic have loved to tune in and watch the police procedural series. The show's writers have got to have something up their sleeve, because not only is this show still popular after so long, but even has had a ton of spin-offs, which were also quite successful. It started off, of course, as a TV-only show, but soon enough, the online era began. That just meant that eventually, people gave up on their local cables and switched entirely to Netflix to catch up on their favorite shows. For NCIS fans, this streaming site was more than enough. They got to watch this show at times convenient for them, without ads, instead of having to wait for the episodes on TV. Netflix and CBS had signed a legacy deal, which meant the site had access to the whole show, but it seems like that deal is up. Season 15 was the last we saw of NCIS on this platform, all the way back in 2018. Since then, we haven't gotten any new updates. If things were still playing out by the rules of the deal, we would have gotten season 16 by 2019. Now, the status of CBS and Netflix's deal has just gotten foggy and unclear. The streaming giant is nowhere near the best place to watch the show anymore. As of 2022, there are 4 seasons missing from the site. If you count the upcoming season 20, that makes 5 missing seasons. Still, somehow, the lack of updates hasn't stopped fans from streaming the older episodes. According to Nielsen ratings, this show was the 4th most watched acquired show in the US, right behind Cocomelon, Grey's Anatomy, and Criminal Minds. With no news of these seasons coming, and more cult favorite shows leaving the platform, you might be wondering when this show's taking the hit. After the conclusion of an investigation by The Wrap and What's on Netflix, we now know the expiry date for the show. You should start preparing to bid adieu to this crime-fighting unit ASAP, since it leaves on June 30th, 2024. Now, let's move on to discuss where you can actually watch the show. Well, you do have around 2 more years to stream the first 15 seasons on Netflix, but if you're done being out of the loop all the time because you have no idea what's going on these days on the show, we can tell you what to do. If you love this show and truly want to be updated, you might just call spending on Paramount Plus subscription an investment. It not only has all the old seasons, but also all the newer ones. It's the perfect formula. If you missed an episode on the TV in real time, you could simply catch it there just the next day after it airs. Season 20, expected to come out in September of this year, will most likely follow the same pattern. So if you prefer binging, a Paramount Plus account will definitely come in handy. Next up, let's discuss what else is leaving Netflix in the near future. So you have access to NCIS for a little more time, but there's a lot that's leaving much sooner. In the first half of August, you can say farewell to Screwball, They've Gotta Have Us, We Summon the Darkness, and Mr. Peabody and Sherman. By the end of the month, though, a lot more titles are included in the list of departing shows. Some of the all-time best horror movies are exiting the streaming site, so this is your last month to rewatch The Conjuring and Nightmare on Elm Street here. What's more, you won't be able to watch 3 of the Mission Impossible movies after August. Some timeless pieces like Goodfellas, Titanic, and The Departed, and family favorites like Rise of the Guardians and Kung Fu Panda 2 are also leaving Netflix, so you should revisit them while you still can. So, with so much leaving Netflix, is the subscription even worth it? Unfortunately, we can't answer that for you, but we can help you make your decision. To really put things into perspective, one thing you should do is look at the titles coming to Netflix soon. A whole bunch of new Netflix originals will be up to stream within August. A few of these will, of course, be rom-coms. Guess Netflix loves doing these. It comes out with new ones every single year with some basic, cliched tropes. How much do you want to bet fake dating and forced proximity will be involved in at least one of these movies? If you love the steamy stuff Netflix makes, though, you probably won't be let down. A sequel to 365 Days comes out on August 19th. Then, there are a few thrillers. The Sandman's trailer looks promising, to say the least. The same can be said about Carter. The premise is new, and Hollywood could desperately use more Asian representation. And finally, needless to say, there are upcoming seasons for the shows we already know and love. This month, the 3rd season of Lock and Key is finally premiering, and so is the 2nd season of Masaba Masaba. Soon enough, the 3rd season of Never Have I Ever will be here too, and we can all be entertained watching Devi be an insufferable character. This is actually the biggest factor to consider, amongst all others, so you must answer the question, are you willing to give up the ability to be able to watch all your current faves? Take your time and think about all the future seasons you're really missing out on. Is there really anything worth your time, or is Netflix's prime time over? Alongside NCIS, should you leave Netflix too? Now, let's move on to some other news. First up, let's talk about what we can expect from Season 20 of NCIS. Showrunner Stephen D. Binder has been busy teasing about what's to come in the upcoming episodes. Apparently, this season will focus a lot more on the characters' non-work lives. He mentioned that the show is obviously about the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, but that anyone who watches the show knows that it's really about the people of the show. He also added that he instructs his writers to add twists, make it funny, exciting, and clear, but in the end, all of that boils down to nothing, because at the end of the day, people really care about the characters and their history. Honestly, after 19 seasons of crime-packed episodes, getting to know the characters would be a fresh change of pace. We're pretty excited to see how it all plays out. Moving on, Netflix has just lost 1 million subscribers. That's right, this streaming giant might not be as giant forever if it keeps up this pace. In Q1 this year, the platform took a hit with a fall in subscribers for the first time in 10 years. Now, in Q2, another 1 million subscribers have given up on the site and have decided to cancel their subscriptions. This is actually good news for Netflix, since their original prediction for loss in subs was a whopping 2 million. That's why the news of this many people leaving the site didn't lead to any major stock price drops either. The reason the exodus of customers was slowed down may just be the 4th season of Stranger Things. Both volumes 1 and 2 of the show were huge successes and broke multiple global streaming records. Last but not least, Netflix is going to start charging you for password sharing. You heard us right, password sharing is going to be much harder starting next year. The company, losing lots of revenue in password sharing, is hoping to crack down on the problem by charging for this. Soon, an update will be coming out. Once that's here, for 2 weeks you can use Netflix on a location outside your home, but after that, they're going to charge you another $2.99 a month per household in addition to what you're already paying. Netflix detects your home location by tracking your account and device activity and IP addresses. VPNs aren't compatible with the software either, so if you're one of those people who still have their ex's account logged in, we think it might be a good time to start looking for other options. And that's a wrap for this video. Will you miss NCIS once it's not on Netflix anymore? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.